What's going on, YouTube? Today we are coming at you guys with a reaction based off of some news from a city named Augusta in the state of Georgia. This is kind of recent, so we wanted to go ahead and react to it because I'm very familiar with these parts of Augusta, Georgia. Spent some years out there, and I feel like a lot of my colleagues and partners need to, see what's going on around them. So on that note, make sure you subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell because we got a lot of other things coming every day of the week, majority days of the week. Make sure you like and comment as well and share it because it's got to go viral. It's got to get out there, man.
There are some mysteries where the answer is so shocking you wish you didn't know the truth. And that's going to be especially true in this case of a teenager who disappeared in Augusta, Georgia. I'm afraid that in this one,
See, guys, it's in Augusta, Georgia.
the truth behind what happened is truly horrifying.
Really, he messed with all this prettiness and he's gonna run away with our daughter? Come on now, that's stupid.
What?
What's going on?
He messed with all this prettiness. He won't run away with her. Run away with her daughter.
So hold on tight, okay? Here we go. Latanya Janelle Carwell, usually
If any of you guys know who this is, hold a candlelight or whatever, man.
well known as Janelle, was a teenager with a bright future ahead of her. She was an honor student at T.W. Josie Comprehensive High School and won lots of achievement awards.
Right, Josie. Like, everybody know where Josie is. If you in Augusta, it don't even matter if you in Hexaba, you know where Josie is.
Her pastor described her like this.
Janelle was a loving, very intelligent, smart young woman who
Anybody know who this pastor is? Comment down below. Make sure you subscribe too.
wanted to be a doctor, who was an honor student.
Basically, she had an awful lot going for her, which makes what happens to her next seem even more insane. She lived in Richmond County, Augusta, Georgia.
Y'all see? Y'all see?
With her family. This was her little sister, her mom, Tanya Tripp.
Anybody know this family?
Comment down below.
And her stepfather, Leandra. Now, the night of April 17th, 2017 was her 16th birthday, and also Easter Sunday.
Okay, so this happened. Okay, so we 4 years late, but still, the fact of the matter is, this happened.
She had a pretty big day. After they had enjoyed a cookout party at their home with friends and neighbors, her mom went to bed early and left Janelle and Leon to finish celebrating. At least, this is what Janelle's mom told the police had happened on that night. Tanya went to bed and was woken by Leon at about midnight. He asked if he could borrow her phone to look up something. A friend of his, Maurice, needed a lift because his car had broken down. Not thinking anything of it, she gave Leon her phone. But
So he went to his girl and said, "Hey, can I use your phone? My boy, his car broke down. I need to use your phone."
He ain't got a phone.
Right, that's one. So one, you ain't had no phone yourself. Two,
How old is he?
well, the picture showing he looked like he was in his mid-30s or
And
something.
she just turning 16?
Nah, the stepfather asked for the phone. They said that the mother had went inside the house. It was the daughter's birthday, but the mother went in the house and the stepfather was still out with her. And they came in and asked the mother to use the phone because his man's, yeah. So this is already kind of shiesty.
because he wasn't great at using the map on the phone, he wanted Janelle to go with him to help him with the directions to Clarksville, South Carolina. Now,
So from Augusta, Georgia to Clarksville, South Carolina, because you're not good with using GPS on the phone. You don't gotta be good with using GPS on the phone to use GPS. GPS works for itself.
oh, that's kind of a weird thing to take a kid to do that at that time of night, right? And Leon took Tanya's phone with him because apparently he didn't have access to the directions. Like, okay,
What?
maybe it wasn't a smartphone?
Right. Was it not a smartphone because you didn't have access to directions? Like, what, you had a sidekick?
What is going on?
Or he didn't know about an app store? Well, it all sounds pretty strange to me. Anyway, things quickly became worse. Tanya didn't hear from Leon or her daughter again for the whole next day. Neither
What?
Oh, next day. Is this the father or step parent?
It's the step parent.
I would be like, why are you not taking my daughter with you to go situate you and your guy friend and his car broke down? What is she
in the
gonna
middle
do?
of the night?
Yeah, what is the need of her?
He talking about
With
he
that
needed help with
situation.
directions.
That no. That don't even sound right. Like, no, you goofy. What was you doing before I met you with my daughter? How was you getting around? You so pressed about this friend. Why is he calling you if you don't even have sense of directions?
My thing is, how did he even figure out his friend's car broke down in Clarksville, South Carolina, if he didn't have a phone himself? Because it said that he walked in and asked his girl for the phone, and he already had the story that his friend's car broke down.
Yeah.
How you find that out if he all the way in Clarksville,
Right.
South Carolina, and you ain't got no phone?
Right.
And she ain't asked no question?
Right. How out of nowhere?
Like, she ain't asked, like, oh, how you know your friend thing?
What
my
you
phone?
need my phone for if you had a phone to find out that information?
Or if you didn't have a phone, like, how did you find out this information, period?
Yeah.
Like,
and why he calling you if you don't even got the tools to get to him either? And then you took my daughter?
And she ain't hear from him the next day at all?
The whole next day?
Yo. After this, it's this girl's birthday, her 16th birthday.
On her birthday?
Neither of them had returned from their late night mission, and their phones weren't ever answered again.
Yo.
Wasn't ever answered again? Like, how long was she with this man?
I'm kind of upset about this, yo.
It's still some questions. Well, they said the parents who hired the hitman. So she trying to act like she don't know about it or something, because any mother would be like, especially my daughter, like, maybe okay if this son, he'd be like, yeah, you gonna ride with me. You know, that's manly stuff. Teaching them how to do, man job. I'm gonna go teach you how to help this man fix his car at nighttime, so you know how to do that at night.
Anytime.
But the female, like, what is the need of her?
That's true.
Like, I would be raising questions. Like, no, you're not. Like, you gotta be careful who you bring around your kids, and that's female and male.
So Janelle's mom made a panicked call to the police to report that they were missing. This is the 911 call she made.
Not right there, I'm not answering the phone. I've been calling and texting and leaving messages and nothing.
Don't you think she sounds totally scared here, and that the worst might have happened to them? Tanya was so sure that if they'd seen her phone calls, they would have picked up. So, of course, this huge search started for them both. The cops, and especially the local community, got really involved. Everybody wanted to find the missing teenager. The frantic search carried on for the next 2 weeks. A local pastor who had a radio show got involved with raising awareness about the case, and Janelle's mom appeared on Facebook Live streaming event. She told watchers that she had brain and lung cancer.
Damn.
Brain and lung cancer. Good googly moogly.
That's probably why she went to go lay down. She couldn't.
That's why she not thinking straight.
True that too. Dang.
That makes all of this even sadder, right?
Need my baby home, like 15 days ago type home.
15 days ago.
Right.
And they not searching.
What is going on? And this was a Facebook Live.
Like, why though? What is the need of killing somebody? What are you getting out of that? Aside from going to hell.
Never been away from me this long.
Now, on the Facebook post, they were trying to raise money for a reward, and by June, the amount was over $2,500. But the community was also terrified that there was some kind of predator.
So that's them. That's the stepfather and the little girl.
It looked like he was more here for the little girl than the mother. Because the mother looked like she older than both of them.
Yeah.
Like, he in his 30s. And the mother looked like she about in her
50s. Yeah. Like, what is going on? And he was just on some predator shit.
They probably was doing something on the low, cause I would even be like, no, I'm not riding with you. Like, she old enough to be like,
Then
no,
on her
I don't
birthday
wanna
too,
go. It's my
like
birthday. Like, yeah, they probably was doing something on the low side. I don't know. I'm not going to make no false accusations. But
she got her whole arm around his stomach and all
Right.
kinds of stuff. Like, what's her? This photo is raising some questions.
yeah, because it's like, what's the point of y'all taking this photo? They just a little too close in age. Like, I don't know.
around, threatening their lives. The publicity around Janelle was hard to miss, and I think people were pretty freaked out. But by late April 2017, law enforcement had finally found Leon's car. His white pickup truck was spotted about a mile from their home. The cops
It was spotted a mile from
mile.
after days.
A mile.
Like, what the fuck? What
She
was they
could have
doing?
walked. What was she in the household 15 days? Was she really looking for the daughter?
Like,
You ain't see no truck a mile.
a mile away. A mile.
Wasn't no police
In
standing
Augusta,
around.
Georgia, at that, the land is flat. You can see, like, yo, you can see, like, all around you. Like, it ain't, yo, only a mile away, y'all. So they never even made it to Clarksville, South Carolina. They drove around the corner.
searched it for any signs of a struggle or DNA that could prove the worst, but nothing turned up there. I guess
Now it's starting
He
to,
had all them days to clean it up. If anything.
maybe that, or rather they transported to another vehicle. He
True.
probably went there to stash his and got into his friend's vehicle, who was supposedly already in South Carolina, but probably wasn't.
I guess that's a good thing, but
And he needed the mother's phone to hit you up and be like, yo, I'm on my way.
So
You there?
Track.
That too. Well, no, they could still
It's still track from my
Yeah.
phone.
But he probably just needed to know, like, if yo was already there or whatever. I don't know. This is crazy, man.
really frustrating. So the cops checked their cell phone records. What they found suggested Janelle and Leon hadn't been anywhere near the Clarksville area, where the
Right.
friend had apparently broken down.
Right.
And
No
even worse, Janelle's social media channels had gone completely silent. For a popular teenager like her to switch off, yeah, this fact made the cops and
Have you ever dreamed of winning a home that looks like this, and
everyone who cared for her super worried. A charity called Bring Our Missing Home, which helps people to find their missing loved ones, was closely involved with the case at this point. They were really concerned that despite all
Here's another picture of her and her stepfather. Y'all see how they just...
He look different. Like, did he get more tatted up?
Well,
Or
then they got
lighting
light.
is
Yeah,
really
they got light now.
something. And why does they keep taking so many pictures?
That's what I'm
together?
saying. Like, he already got his arm over her. Like, there's something going on. Like, this starting to look like a situation like, you know, high schooler, you know, she already popular, that, you know, always go to school and brag about her older boyfriends type shit.
Alright.
That's what this look like. You're 16, what that's, a junior. 11th grade.
all the coverage about Janelle's disappearance and the millions of flyers that had been spread all over Georgia, there hadn't been a single phone call or message with a sighting of Janelle. But eventually, the police did hear something important about the case. Only, it really wasn't what they were expecting to find. Reports had finally started coming in about a sighting. And guess who it was?
The stepfather.
It was Leon Tripp. He'd been seen on his own somewhere in Atlanta, but
Wow. So he was 2 hours away from Augusta. Nowhere near South Carolina.
And on his own.
On his own in Atlanta. Ducked off. As y'all know, them trenches, you can be ducked off.
But sadly, there was no sign of Janelle with him. The police realized they had to dig into Leon's past.
Now he look a little older. Now he look like he for the mother.
Guess we gotta keep that beard. That's what's the difference.
They didn't have to look very far because it turned out he had a super dark criminal history.
He had some assault charges. He had some cruelty to children.
What?
So you gotta look at people's backgrounds.
He had assault and cruelty to children charges. Like, how you get a cruelty to child charge without, like, abuse? Like, what is that? Like, what, you putting cigarettes out on them or something? What the
Charges.
He'd even been in jail for aggravated assault. And Janelle's mom knew all about this.
Smiling.
She knew all about it. Well, you know, people give people chances.
That's like Nicki Minaj. They say her husband a whole, what, child predator or something? Her husband. And she know about it. Like, what is going on? Y'all see I keep moving my neck because I just... Y'all don't know. I cracked my neck the wrong way when we came back off of vacation, y'all. I can't even explain it and I can't even reenact it, but yeah, let's get back to the video.
In fact, they'd both gone to high school together. And after Leon was put away
What?
for a few years, they'd somehow
No,
grown
who
even
went to high school together?
aggravated
the
assault.
mother
And Janelle's mom knew all about this. In fact, they'd both gone to high school together. And after Leon was put away for a few years, they'd somehow grown
so the
even
mother
closer,
never got
exchanging
older.
letters and phone calls. Very romantic. Leon and Tanya had even married while he was still locked up. But it seems like Janelle's mom...
What? So basically, they knew each other in high school, but they never, I mean, who knows? They probably did something back then, who knows? But they probably didn't. So, but then he gets locked up. While he's locked up, they start exchanging letters and stuff and
They
get married while he in there. Like,
right. So what? She had the kid while he in there. He come out, want revenge, kill a motherfucker. Kill her because he mad that she even sat up there and had the baby by somebody while he was in jail.
no, because they wasn't together when they was in high school, though. They just knew each other in high school.
But they got married while he was in jail. So still she had to end up. How long was he in jail? Because if this is
It's only a couple years. And her daughter's 16, so she probably had her daughter right out of high school. They just started talking like a couple years before 2017. And because she previously knew him before, that's probably what gave her the ambition to accept him. Like, yeah, I don't know.
really didn't mind any of his super sketchy past. Once he was released, as I mentioned earlier, he moved into the same house with her and her two daughters.
Two
daughters.
2 years before Janelle vanished with him. I mean, that background is totally not a great look for Tanya or Leon.
Right.
And this time, the cops were after him for abduction charges. They were pretty sure he'd done something to his stepdaughter. But Janelle's mom really didn't want to believe this. One reporter even noticed how little she wanted to hear it.
When I asked her, hey, investigators believe that he's taken her, she was very defensive.
Well, he have taken her because that's the last person you know she was with. I know she did not.
No, what you were saying.
Oh my goodness! First of all, did she got contacts in, and then what is going on with them eyebrows? Why would she draw them on like that?
No, that's Kathy Rhodes, I think. I don't think that's a...
And the lady who ran Bring Our Missing Home, Kathy Rhodes, agrees that Tanya's actions were getting sketchier. Kathy had worked really close to Tanya the whole time they were trying to find Janelle. She couldn't help noticing that the number of red flags kept in...
Yo!
Who is?
Damn, that's yo! I can't remember his name, yo, but I know him personally, and I can't remember his name. It's gonna come to me when I'm done the video. But bro, you know who you are, bro. You gonna see the video. You on my page and all. We did time together and everything. Like he a real public speaker, yo. Like in Augusta itself.
Saying too much just didn't add up.
Dang.
Following the suspicion that Leon might have abducted her daughter, Tanya had said in one interview,
Really? He messed with all this prettiness and he's gonna run away with our daughter? Come on now, that's stupid.
it's definitely kind of an odd thing to say.
They got her ass locked up.
That's what I'm saying. That's an odd thing to say. Like, he messed with this prettiness and run away with our daughter? Like, what is your point in saying that?
And you talking about prettiness, surely.
We're not worried about that.
Yuck.
Everybody is pretty in their own way.
Isn't it? By now, the people who were working
Yo, you said everybody pretty in their own way. She talking about, isn't it?
on the case were in close touch with Tanya, and they were starting to really get anxious about her motives. And the signs of Tanya's possible jealousy of her daughter really didn't stop there. She also said,
And all this craziness about they ran off to be together and stuff, no, it's no truth in none of that. That's her dad, that's his daughter, that's it. I'm his wife, not her. So all that craziness, it's no happening to that.
by this point, Tanya was
My
even
eyelash
accusing
in my
Leon.
eye.
I'm blowing.
I got it out before it got too deep. And she talking about, I'm his wife, and this and that, and this and that. Like, Shorty was jealous.
Enforcement of only coming after her and not doing enough to find her daughter. But the police had finally tracked him down. A call came through that Leon had been discovered. He was at a U-Haul depot in Atlanta.
Oh, he was trying to get
This
up out of
should
there.
be good news, right? But guess who was right there with him? Well, you're not gonna believe it, or maybe you will.
The mother.
When the cop
Please don't tell me it was the mother. Please don't.
Because that means he arranged for her to get to Atlanta somehow. After she had the interviews with y'all.
cops arrived at the U-Haul to arrest Leon, Tanya Tripp was right there with him. That's pretty hard evidence that something was messed up about the whole situation. What were they both hiding about Janelle? The cops were now absolutely sure that Tanya had known much more about her daughter's disappearance the entire time, but she insisted she'd only seen Leon by complete accident.
So even if you did see him, you still didn't call the police immediately.
Right.
You just sitting there chilling at a U-Haul, about to what, rent a truck to get out of town? Come on, like, that's real shaky, lady. What the fuck, freak? What's up with you?
What's up with you?
Ooh, boy.
Honey
Looking like
boo-boo.
Ursula.
Looking like Honey Boo Boo.
Oh, smack.
Tanya claimed that
I hope this ain't for no. The only thing I can think of now is this some whole human trafficking shit.
she was being evicted and had begun to move to Atlanta. Then she spotted Leon walking along the road while she was
Now all
driving
of a
the
sudden you
U-Haul
being
back to
evicted.
And you out of nowhere moving to Atlanta, that's more expensive than Augusta. You moving to Atlanta, you're not even the surrounding area. The surrounding area more cheaper, but you moving in Atlanta. You there with him. Sure, dude. And you just so happen to see him walking down the street.
to the depot, and that's why they were together. Totally believable, right? Tanya really tried to sell that story, but yeah, that's all about as sus as it sounds. Nobody was buying it. I mean, seeing him out there by accident has got to be a billion
What was you
to
doing
one
out
shot.
there?
It's totally unlikely, and the cops thought so too. They immediately charged Leon with abduction, and Tanya was hit with hindering the apprehension of a criminal. Tanya called a neighbor from jail to let her know. The neighbor said,
Are you serious? And she said yes.
it was starting to dawn on everyone just
Time to scout.
She got all these people fooled.
how much they'd been lied to. Given how hard the community worked to find Janelle, this must have hurt so much. And this began to crack the story that Tanya had been telling into lots of totally inconsistent pieces. Once Tanya was arrested, she kept telling the cops slightly different versions of her story. And Leon told a totally different story to that. Leon insisted that he and Janelle were going to Atlanta all along. Investigator Richard Roundtree reported that
Roundtree. Yeah, man.
Money in which to get on the bus and come back to Augusta, and he hadn't seen her since.
Obviously, this wasn't true and she never made it, but when confronted, Tanya suddenly stopped answering further questions and the cops couldn't get her to respond to any details of this other story. Perhaps because it wasn't rehearsed with Leon? The cops
Dang.
also closely examined that 911 call Tanya had made. They soon figured out it was all a massive lie and figured she had used it to send the search teams in the completely wrong direction. This would have bought Leon a lot more time to do whatever the heck he was doing. Oh, and Janelle's mom, and I use that term pretty loosely at this point, totally didn't have cancer of any kind either.
What? Why would she go tell that whole lie that can be found out like that?
Yo.
Bad liar. Got this man putting her in this criminal situation over her own flesh and blood. Her daughter.
Was it really him or did she set it up?
Yeah, because she jealous.
Right. Like...
She lied about all of that too, which is the least sick thing going on here. Remember how much Tanya wanted her daughter back? This video is just 11 days after Janelle went missing.
I'm not eating, I'm not sleeping, I'm just worried about my family.
Even if she did care, she couldn't have been very interested in justice for her daughter. This all sounds totally similar to the case we covered about Bernadette Walker. She had vanished and the evidence started to mount up that both of her parents had a lot more to do with the teenager vanishing than it first appeared. Bernadette's mother also pretended to not know anything at all. We've had no contact with her since 1 a.m. on July 20th when she texted me to say she'd be home soon. None of her friends have heard from her and she's not accessed social media. That sounds kind of familiar too, doesn't it? And in Bernadette's case, it was just as shocking because you don't expect someone's mom to cover up for anyone who would hurt them. But looking back at Tanya's behavior now, yeah, every single thing she did was just a huge lie. It was all a big act to cover up something terrible that she knew. So both parents were arrested and charged. Leon had also submitted a statement saying that Janelle was no longer living. All the cops could do now was carry on looking for poor Janelle's remains.
Oh my goodness, yo.
That's messed up.
Like, that is messed up, because it's like, how you in this child, oh my goodness, like, you like, how you go through that in your mind, like, all right, tonight's the night, I'm gonna murder this woman's child, like, I'm just gonna take her with me, and just, tonight's the night, like, how the fuck, yo? Excuse my language, like, that's not cool, yo.
But they still don't know where she was. And don't forget that Janelle had a little sister. I can't imagine how she was coping with all of this.
Right.
As far as I know,
Was just
she's
chilling
still
with her on
an
her
aunt
birthday.
where I hope she's in much safer hands. And then, almost 1 year after Janelle had vanished on the Easter weekend, the cops released a very sad statement.
We received a phone call from a citizen and had discovered what they believed to be human remains.
A year after, yo. It took them a year. So they hid the shit out of her. Damn.
Came from a person in Augusta, not all that far from where Janelle lived.
Of course, because the truck wasn't far from where Janelle lived. And
He didn't even.
He probably never went back in the truck after he murked her.
He probably had somebody already waiting to pick him up or something.
He probably murked her in the truck and just didn't feel comfortable while getting back in the truck.
He said it was clean.
You could choke somebody without having blood come out.
They'd found something suspicious and upsetting in the garden of the house they were about to rent. And
in somebody's garden? That's fucked up. Excuse my language. So he went to a house that was vacant, that was up for rent, and yo, this guy really thought about this to think about putting her in a place that's for rent's yard. Who really gonna think about going to search somewhere like that? Like, yo, that's crazy, yo. Yo, they thought of
Oh,
this.
it took somebody a whole year to look at that house.
Right. Damn.
Naturally, they called the police. The area was searched and the
Because look where they at. Like,
They're barely getting rentals.
do you feel me? Damn.
sad truth was confirmed. Investigators confirmed that this was what remained of Janelle. She was identified by some dental records taken just.
Damn. So basically, she was already so decomposed, they had to identify her through her teeth. That's not cool, yo.
Before her birthday. And finally, Leon and Tanya were fully charged for the horrible things they'd done. They've both been charged for involvement and in concealment of whatever happened to Janelle. In fact, the reason why they did something so disgusting still isn't clear. And as you can imagine, the local community is totally cut up about being gritted by Tanya for so long. They can't believe they fell for it.
15th Street, boy. Where I came up, basically Harrisburg.
In my opinion, she told a whole lot of lies.
And people had worked so hard, they even got sick trying to find her. Community leader Ray Montana
That's his name. That's his name.
told the reporters about this.
But he got a
Days
music
and
name
days
too.
of 100 degrees, sweating. Many of our people fell out. A couple of them went to the hospital. One young lady had to get a spinal tap because of the heat and everything. It was
Damn.
definitely emotional. It caused depression in a
Only
lot
for
of
the woman to know where her daughter was the whole time.
Well, of course
our
she
lives
gonna
and
come
even
out and
affected the
say it.
community. Janelle was like one of our own kids. That's awful. And the details just get worse and worse. In 2018, some awful new evidence was added to the trial. It said that Tanya and Leon had had several meetings with a fixer to arrange a hit on Janelle.
What? Several meetings. Putting a hit on your
Daughter?
under 16-year-old daughter.
Like what the heck?
What is going on?
They on drugs. Something going on
Something's
here.
going
And they'd been planning to do it for at least 2 years.
2
That's so cold and
years.
revolting, isn't it? What kind
So basically, since she was 14, y'all was planning on.
Right.
America,
They
nah.
had to sacrifice her or something.
That's what I'm like. What is going on?
of mother even does that?
Perhaps somebody, they did solicit someone, but it's the fact still remains that everything's pointing at them. And I hope that they die by the hands of the state.
This case just keeps on getting worse. Janelle never had a chance to really grow up. The only people who really seem to care about Janelle, apart from her poor sister, are the people who never even knew her. I think it's because what happened to her was so terrible, especially because she had so much to offer that lots of people felt very close to her.
Like, what is going on?
Tanya was creative. She was a critical thinker. This girl was a great writer.
Janelle's school held a vigil at the house where she was finally found. And people that didn't even know her were at the vigil, which they held to give the community some closure. And there are some efforts.
Like, that's still fucked up. Like, she thinks she going with him to help him, give him directions, only for you to get murked. Like, come on, yo. If she was really that bad of a person, she wouldn't be ready to come help you with no damn directions on her birthday. Like, come on, bro.
To make Janelle's passing count for something.
It's kids out here that's going to tell you, no, it's my birthday, or no, period. They don't feel like going. Like, how you going to do that?
More. The district attorney arranged for new cadaver dogs for each county.
Like, his mental got to be messed up in there, yo. And if it ain't, it will be in the afterlife, yo. Cause that's nah, yo.
This pupper is called Dora, but they wanted to get Janelle's name in there somewhere. In 2019, three Josie High School seniors won $500 each from the Latiana Janelle Carwell Scholarship Award. This comes from the reward money collected while she was missing. Oh, and as for Janelle's so-called parents, Leon is facing the death penalty, and Tanya Tripp is charged with murder in the second degree.
So they killed this guy? Why? Let his ass serve time and have it on his mind. He would have eventually hung himself. Y'all should have just let him do that to himself, yo. Y'all gave him the easy way to fuck out. That shit got me mad. Y'all gave him the easy way out, yo.
But the dates of
Y'all gave him the easy way out, yo. I'm so irritated because it's like, yo, when y'all done gave him a death penalty. So he already knew in his mind he was about to die. So he had time to prepare, give his little bullshit repentance. I'm my bad. I'm not saying that anybody's repentance is BS. But no, they should have let this man have that on his conscience in there, yo. I don't like that.
The whole hearing kept getting pushed back, so we'll see what eventually happens to both of them, but I really hope that poor Janelle receives some justice, because she could have really been something amazing, and she was always amazing to begin with. So, what do you guys make of this case?
I think the whole shit.
And that's it, guys. So what you guys think about this case? Comment down below, like, share, subscribe. Any people that didn't know about it, make sure you know about it now. It's a very sad situation. I really don't like it. It got me rubbed the wrong way. That's all I can say. See y'all in the next video. Until next time. Because that shit got me.